June is the coldest month of the year in New Zealand, and it's not very tropical today. I can assure you of that. Hi, my name is Neil Smith. We're going to be talking about bowels. B-O-W-E-L. Because June in New Zealand is Bowel Cancer Awareness Month. And so we're going to be talking about things that we can do to help you with bowel, irritable bowel, things like that. This is coconut flour. Gold dust coconut flour, organic coconut flour. It's 38% fibre. Now, what does that do? Well, of course, it keeps you regular. And keeping you regular is the solution to avoiding bowel problems. Diverticulitis is a word that you might have heard. And diverticulars are things that are stuck inside the colon. And those things can get bent out of shape. They can make your colon get bent out of shape. They can also make your colon expand and things like this. Now, I read about this in Dr. Fife's book called Coconut Cures. And you can buy it at our shop. It's an absolutely wonderful book. It starts out with an amazing story, but not about bowel, but it's a really, really good book. So anyway, the intestine, it needs to be kept regular. It needs to be scraped out a little bit. This coconut flour, as you can see, is very, very fine, and it's not gluten. It's gluten-free rather, and it's not made out of grain. It's made out of the stuff that you find in a coconut, the white stuff. Okay, so someone emailed me today and said, look, I've been suffering from irritable bowel syndrome for a long time. And so they said, can you do this and can you do that? And I said, well, I can't give you any medical advice. But what I can do is tell you that I would be using some of that coconut flour. I also said this person was a strong advocate of coconut oil. And I said, look, I would be using this particular brand, Ancient Wisdom, and just simply because it's gravity extracted, what we call fermented, and it happens to be easier to absorb in the skin, also easier to absorb in the bowel, etc., in the stomach, etc. So that would be my personal opinion. If you're going to take 6 tablespoons of coconut oil a day across various products, you're cooking, you're eating off the spoon, whatever, well, I would be doing it with Ancient Wisdom in particular. Of course, there are other brands which were fermented out there, but Ancient Wisdom is particularly mild to taste. They also mentioned about stomach cramps, and I said, well, I've had leg cramp problems before, and the only thing, in some cases, the only thing which I've been able to get relief from was tiare flour in coconut oil. This is the product that we're distributing for Napo Bio. Tiare flour is the most expensive essence, is the most expensive thing you can imagine, and you can't buy it. So we're very, very pleased to have Napo Bio's product available. As far as we know, we're really the only people distributing that. We can send that worldwide. If you happen to be overseas, and we haven't at this point in time put that up as an overseas option, just email us and we'll tell you what it would cost. I'd also be looking at adding this creamed coconut butter to your diet if you were having troubles in that area. In page 131 to page 137 of the particular book of Coconut Cures, edition of Coconut Cures that I'm just going to get from my desk, it talks about colon, and I'll just I'll just show you the cover quickly. So essentially, the Coconut Cures book says if you'd have desiccated coconut, you would have a lot of desiccated coconut, you might get rid of a lot of the symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. My personal feeling is if you would have coconut flour, which is gluten-free as I've mentioned, you would also help to alleviate some of the risk of bowel cancer due to things getting stuck. Basically it sluices out the system if you're using a bit of it regularly. I'll just get this book for you and we'll have a look at that. Coconut Cures by Bruce Fife. We've got it available on our site. It's an absolutely amazing story, series of stories. Talks about coconut water, talks about coconut oil, talks about various things. Coconut water is another thing which was I was asked about in relation to irritable bowel syndrome. Would it be better than using coconut oil? Short answer is absolutely not. You've got to have both. What I would use coconut water for, in particular, in terms of symptoms, if I was suffering from cramp, as I was yesterday, I had cramp all around here under the arm, around the side of the rib cage there. All the muscles are cramping up, and obviously potentially that's a lack of potassium or a lack of magnesium imbalance or something like that. Potentially that's what I was suffering from. Anyway, I went and grabbed my Tetra Pak of sea coconut water, and I took that with me in the car when I drove to town, and problem solved. Haven't had any problems since. Coconut water is an absolutely astounding product, and any excess nutrients that it gives you, the body is able to pass out through the colon or whatever else is going to happen. We won't get into these specifics, you know. So come and see us, come and see our website rather, coconutoilshop.co.nz. I'm Neil Smith from Camp Coconut, and we look forward to seeing your orders.